Our pronouns are told you so. The Daily Mojo.
Ooh. Oh, hey, so this is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, this will make absolutely no sense, so make sure you watch it first. And now, on with the countdown.
At Peru_aliens. And the first I had seen of this account was, I think it was yesterday, because I happened to notice that it was that Peru aliens or something like that was trending. I clicked on it. Here's where I ended up. This account, Peru, at Peru_aliens. They had a poll, who is attacking the villagers in Peru? 56% think non-humans, 44% think humans with non-human tech. And that's where I learned about the face peelers, which I know it sounds pretty weird. But one of their tweets is of a 60-year-old man by the name of Roberto Ramirez Tangoa, was found with his face and eyes completely removed in a difficult-to-reach part of Peru in 2022. It requires a 5-hour boat ride. No one has come to investigate his death. This was tweeted yesterday. His face and his eyes were removed. That did not make it into the reports that we received, a few months ago about the illegal gold miners wearing jetpacks scaring off the village. I mean, if you're going to scare off the villagers by peeling off their face and removing their eyeballs, I'd say that's a pretty, that would scare the hell out of most people. Not sure why they're peeling people's faces off, but apparently they are. I mean, it's 2023. Nothing is out of bounds. This account, and by the way, this account was only, I think it only started Peru_aliens. They got about 7,300 followers. And I want to say they were started this year, like in June or July of this year. And their profile says, covering the news coming out of Peru, which began July 2023. So they went up. They went online just to cover these attacks. And the next tweet that they put out, I understand this is difficult for people, but this is an investigation, and to simply not talk about it's ridiculous. This is why they're called the face peelers. They kill people. They take people's faces. For what reason is still unknown. That's pretty freaky. And some people have suggested, okay, it must be the cartel. Well, I don't know, again, why the cartel. Let's just say it is the cartel. Where'd they get the tech? It's not hard. I mean, you got money, you can get just about anything. But does this tech even exist? These platforms that you can hover on? Never seen anything like it. Maybe that's one of the reasons, and we'll get to it in a few, maybe that's one of the reasons the Pentagon keeps failing their audits. Maybe that's where all this money is going. To fund floating disk technology. It's a damn one of the respondents says, everyone has a damn camera phone now. Why can't they capture images? Well, first of all, it's Peru. But secondly, it's Peru. I'm sure they have cell phone cameras down there, but when you see the area that these people live in, this village is in the middle of BF Egypt. Oh, by the way, it's a very traditional thing. And they're sitting there in their traditional garb. Here you
They
go.
have these mallets in their hands, and they reach into a bucket and they pull out boiled yucca, and they stick it in their mouths and they chew on it. And then they spit it into the trough and smash it with the sticks.
Which is more disgusting, peeling somebody's face off or drinking this stuff. These are not the people, by the way. These are not the Akutu people. But anyway, these people live in the middle of BFE, literally. I mean, they are in the jungle. And this guy, Timothy Alberino, and his buddy Greg there, they go on to talk about the different experiences that these villagers have had with these face peelers is what they're called, face peelers. Let me see if I can get back to the part where they were talking to the girl. Right here.
And he mixed the powder and the cream together.
I got to back this up.
And then they proceeded to take out a powder. The Peruvian put some powder in his hand, and then he put some cream. He had this.
So there are two of these face peelers. One has her by the face, by the head. One has her by the feet. And he's describing what they do next. Take out this powder.
This little bottle with cream in it, and he mixed the powder and the cream together. Then he took a nasal syringe, he sucked up the substance and shot it up her nose. Then they took out a larger tube, almost like, it sounded like, and I asked her, like sort of like a large toothpaste packet, and they put the cream on their hands, and this was the guy that had her from behind. So recall, the gringo has her from behind. He's covering her mouth. The Peruvian has her by the feet. And the gringo proceeds to smear this cream all over her face. And she said that her face instantly went numb when the cream was applied, and it began to swell.
Okay, that's weird. You put this cream on her face. I know there's a bell in there somewhere. But they put the cream on her face goes numb. They figure that it is, if they're going to do the whole face peeling kit or the whole face peeling routine, that's why that they were putting this stuff on her face that, made her face go numb so you wouldn't feel it. And other news in Peru, which is probably just coinky-dink. There is they just issued, they being the State Department, they just issued a Peru travel advisory. Let's see, exercise increased caution due to crime, civil unrest, and the possibility of kidnapping. Some areas of increased risk, read the entire travel advisory. The Colombian-Peruvian border area in the Loreto region due to crime, which, by the way, is the same area that we're talking about here with the face peelers, just so you know. Weird, right? I mean, I'm sure it's just absolutely a coincidence. Let's not forget the original, or one of the original stories to come out of that area of Peru over at the Jerusalem Post. Peruvian village horrified by attacks from giant yellow-eyed aliens. I know, sounds pretty crazy, right? That's exactly what our man over here, Errol Flynn, Desi Arnaz, and who's the other one? All rolled into one. But in talking to these people, they went down there, they spent some time, they interviewed the people who were in that area, and these people are terrified. They believe something is, they know something's happening to them because they have scars. The little girl who was, the 15-year-old girl who was attacked has scars on her neck from where they, looks like they attempted to use some sort of a laser tool or a knife tool on her neck. And if they're rubbing some paste on her face that makes her face go numb, and then we have other reports of people having their face and their eyeballs removed, something hinky is going on down there in Peru. But I'm sure it's just gold miners with jetpacks.
The First Amendment.
Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Lives here. Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.